It's football o'clock, friends. Celebrate Buckeye Game Day. This is the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. Key Bank opens doors.
Along with former Buckeyes Devere Posey and Dane Santenbacher, here's Matty Ice.
And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. I'm Matty Ice. And to my right, I got a former Buckeye wide receiver by the name of Dane Santenbacher. Dane, happy game day, baby. Another one is here. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, Matty. Matty might have a hard time talking through all the layers he has on and the face mask and everything, but yeah, we're going to do it, man. It's I'm happy to be back. You know, this is the strongest pregame show there is. So,
No
I mean,
question.
I'm glad we get another installation and hope there's a couple more to come.
No doubt, man. The bracket looks good on paper. Looking at that all week long, we finally arrived at the CFP last night. It got underway. I was wondering how the Sandenbacher household was last night because for the Hoosier faithful, that was not a very good night. It was not a very good night. How was the household, my man?
Well, Matty, I did okay because I was at the household alone. My wife was at the game. So
Was she really?
They went up to South Bend.
Oh, man.
Her and her dad and brother. You know, that was a tough one. I think that's a tough place. It was going to be tough for them to go in there and win.
Yeah.
They didn't help themselves. But as far as our household, we're getting through it, Maddie.
Okay,
We've
good.
moved on, and now she's back on supporting the Buckeyes,
Buckeyes.
where I like her focus
Okay,
to be.
yeah.
So yeah, we're doing okay.
Good. Time heals all, my man.
Yep.
Time heals all. You know, you mentioned the layers that I have on right now. Yeah, I'm not messing around. You know, I went to Cabela's last night, got me a nice pair of, Carhartt. Did I say that right? Am I saying that right?
Well, you're adding
Carhartt.
yeah,
Added a D in there?
Yeah, you added a
It's
D that you
Carhartt.
shouldn't.
Let me
Yep.
get that right.
Mhm.
Carhartt got the gloves going. I'm layered up, man. I got 3 or 4 sweatpants on right now, crew neck, a hoodie, and a nice jacket. You know, if you know me, I'm soft when it comes to the cold.
I do know that. about
Very
you.
soft when it
and
comes to the cold.
The thing is, I'm guilty by association now. I did the show with Baker earlier today, and when I told them I was charging up my vest,
Yeah.
they were like, "Maddie's making you soft.
Yeah,
They're making
it's
you
me.
feel cold."
It's me.
So I guess I'm not too proud.
Well, at least you and I are here. You know, our guy DeVere had to hop on a bird to go to Houston, Texas, and leave us behind, so we got an empty chair out here today. DeVere, honestly, though, DeVere had to go to Houston. It's his sister's birthday. It's her 40th birthday. He had to be there for that. You're making the face like,
okay, if he had to, okay. I mean, we talk
man.
fine. I said if we got to do it without him, we'll do it without him. We'll see. I mean, this show must go on.
It must go on. We got things to do because we got a playoff game right here at the Shoe, and it's odd that we're here, right? Yesterday, sitting down, watching that Indiana Notre Dame game. You get up today, Penn State, SMU kickoff at high noon, and there's a different feel. I don't know how you feel about the postseason right now. I think it's always fun to look at a bracket, right? No matter what we do, we love March Madness, just looking at that and penciling teams in and seeing how far they can go and all those things. But when it hits with football, it hits a little differently, right? And so now here we are within this. Do you like the feel of the playoffs so far? I know it's been a game and a half. I don't know exactly where Penn State or SMU are at the moment, but do you like the feel of what we're doing?
Last night was a weird one.
Yeah.
Last night was a weird one. I had hopes that would be a really good game and a good kickoff to this thing. So I think today will set the feel. And I think Penn State SMU is also not really helping the vibe of the playoff.
Not at all.
But I think that all eyes are going to be on tonight.
Yeah.
All eyes are going to be on the primetime game. As far as the feel here in Columbus, this is strange. This is like being back out here. Is it a bowl game? We don't have I don't have a slotted place in my brain for what we're doing right now. So it's definitely exciting. It's been weird to see the Tennessee, the fans in town. That's something you just don't
here.
see.
Yeah.
They're here. They're traveled. They're here already.
Yeah, man.
So man, yeah, it's cold. It's
windy.
It's cold. It's windy. I don't know.
It's football in December.
It's football in December, and I will say I think Ohio State is lucky to have it, given what we're coming off of. I think this team is lucky to have another shot to end their homestand this year on a higher note.
Because last time we saw this team play in that stadium across the street, it was a sour afternoon. It was a sour afternoon, and then you had the scuffle at the end of the game, which just added to more of that sourness, and it's 4 years in a row of that, unfortunately. But you mentioned how fortunate Ohio State is to be in this scenario. The team that's playing right now, and Penn State feels the same way, and that is kind of the beauty, if you will, of the playoff, right? For a team like Penn State, last few years, Ohio State's got you, Michigan's got you, you've been on the outside looking in. For Ohio State, this isn't the path you wanted to take to get here. They wanted that bye, and they wanted to be in Oregon's position waiting for them out at the Rose Bowl. But regardless, right, you are within a pathway of playing for the ultimate prize, and that's all you can ask for. So I understand where you're at, Dane, as far as just this strange feeling with where we're at right now with a home game in late December, and you still have a chance to play for a national championship, and you didn't beat your rival, or you didn't win a Big Ten title.
I think this is going to be one of those years that we're going to have to let it play out and then look at it in hindsight and see what was that? Was that useful? Because it is confusing. You're looking at Penn State. If I'm Oregon, I'm pissed. Because by all matters, you did your job this year, and now your path to a national championship is even harder than it ought to be. Yeah. So, I mean, this is going to be one of those things that we'll have to look back on it and see if it did truly crown the champion.
You mentioned their path, and I think it's great you bring that up, because on their side of the bracket potentially is Ohio State, potentially is Texas if they get past Clemson here in about an hour and a half and change. And on the bottom of the bracket, you're looking at a Boise State team who's a bit of an unknown outside of their star player in Ashton Genty. And then you've got Georgia, who is the highest-ranked team on that side of the bracket, who is now coming into the postseason, Dane, with their star quarterback that's probably not going to play the rest of the way in Carson Beck because of a shoulder injury. So if you're Oregon, look, you went undefeated, you earned that bye, but you're looking at those brands of Texas and Ohio State, and especially, I think, the brand of Ohio State. I think they're rooting hard today for Tennessee, that being the Ducks, because I don't think you want to see that team that was the biggest thorn in your side and a few plays away and a few false starts away and all that stuff that was baked in that game coming out of this game, going to the West Coast and foaming at the mouth to get after you again.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want that at all if you're Oregon. Yeah. And if you're Ohio State, you do everything you can tonight to make that be the reality. Because I think if you win this tonight, you're carrying all that momentum with you where, Oregon had a rest day, but they didn't get to play in the field they're going to have tonight. No doubt. What you get out of winning a game in Columbus tonight, it trumps a bye week. Yeah. What you're carrying into Pasadena to go play them. So, I mean, you're right. There's a world where Oregon, Tennessee or Ohio State tonight. I think Ohio State's got a really good chance to get this done. So Oregon and Ohio State, if Ohio State beats Oregon, they didn't even get a shot at somebody outside of the conference. That's why I'm saying this is a strange setup. There's some things to work out with what this setup is, but for Ohio State, very fortunate. The college football has shifted in a direction that favored Ohio State this year.
No question about it. One thing I couldn't wait to ask you, Dane, is we don't have to go back and break down the Michigan game.
Oh yeah, let's go play by play.
We don't want to do that. But how much of that do you think they went back and used? Is that a quick turnaround, flush the film, let's move on because we got another 3-4 games to hopefully play? Or how long do you think they marinated in that Michigan loss?
I hope not long, honestly, because I don't know how much you obviously always want to learn from those things. But as far as the actual on-field game, I don't know how much you're going to benefit by picking that one apart. Yeah. I mean, it's been 2 weeks. I still can't figure out what exactly happened there. I think you're probably better off getting your team's mind right, getting focused on what is next, getting guys healthy, and let's prep for Tennessee. But you only wash it away, at least in your players' minds. Fans are going to remember it. In the players' minds, by beating Tennessee, by winning again. That's the only thing that does it.
It's well said. When we come back, you will hear from Coach Day. I asked Dane about how he thinks they dealt with Michigan. You will hear from Coach Day on what the team has done since the Michigan game, and you'll get some thoughts on Tennessee as well. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. Visit Riverside Bank and experience the strength of local.
Roadways are looking pretty good so far. We haven't got any problems. Just check the ODOT cameras on 315 at the Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road exits. Also checked out Kinnear and the Medical Center King Ave exit. Right now things are moving with just light to moderate volumes in spots. A reminder there could be slick spots out there with this chilly weather. Something to keep in mind as you hit those off ramps. With game day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
The nightmare of the cleared drain. Those drain clearing specials from the other guys seem like a great deal until you realize the only thing really going down your drain is your money. At the Waterworks, we mean clean. Our service doesn't just clear your drains, it cleans them too. It's done right the first time, so that nightmare of a drain becomes a dream come true. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call 614-232-2222 to get started.
Toyotathon is on. Our biggest event of the year is better than ever, with our biggest and best selection, including the best-selling Toyota Camry. It's all hybrid all the time, with available all-wheel drive. Now through January 6th, you can lease a Camry LE from just $259 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
Some things in life are meant for each other, like salt and pepper, bacon and mushrooms, or you and the all-new Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, does bacon go with mushrooms? And the answer is, they do now. So if you want crispy, crunchy, cheesy, juicy, shroomy, and garlic spready, then you and the Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger are meant to be. For mushroomy, bacony goodness, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for my team at Valley Ford of Columbus. There's only a few days left in 2024. As a Valley customer, I'm telling you, you want to get online and see all the end-of-year savings at valleyfordofcolumbus.com. New 2024 Ford F-150 XLTs, Bronco Sports, Mustang Mach-E's. There's tons to choose from. Plus, the leases and financing deals will get you rolling into 2025 with more cash in your pocket. Go to valleyfordofcolumbus.com today for all the details.
Keep on trucking with Valley Ford of Columbus.
Tech scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
If somebody is still asking what you want for Christmas, just tell them to sign you up for the Fan Golf League at Fairway Columbus. You don't want to miss out on all this fun. Chance to keep your game sharp, chance to get inside and still play golf during these winter months, and a chance to win signed memorabilia, game tickets, gift cards, and more, including some prize packs from Woodford Reserve. There's going to be drink specials every week, and there's that McGinnis Grill delicious food. The 12-week league starts on January 5th, and there are only a few spots remaining. Sign up now.
This holiday season, give the gift of love with a ring from Diamond Seller. For over 75 years, our family has been a part of your love story. With an in-house design team available to help you create your dream ring, expert staff, and an unmatched selection, we're committed to bringing you the world's most beautiful diamonds. And here's the holiday magic. We guarantee the best price so you can make your moments memorable without a worry. For love and a ring that will last a lifetime, visit Diamond Seller on Sawmill Road or Easton Town Center or online at diamondseller.com.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Can you smell it? Buckeye football is in the air. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your home for the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Welcome back in. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. I'm Matty Ice. To my right, I got my main man, Dane Sanzenbacher, the former Buckeye wide receiver, getting you ready for Ohio State and Tennessee. 8 o'clock kickoff at the Shoe. College football playoff has arrived to Columbus, Ohio. You know, there's been a lot of chatter this week. What has it been about? There's going to be a decent, let's call it, sprinkle of that bright orange at the Shoe. I've heard 30%. We're seeing some Tennessee fans rolling by right now. They're here. They're ready to represent. Now, look, 30% and 100,000 people. You know, it's a nice pocket of people, but
30% of 100,000. What is it?
You know what? I wasn't good at math.
It's 30.
I wasn't good at math.
It's 130.
Yeah, pretty basic. I should know that, right? I should know that.
Sorry,
but
that was rude of me.
And you know what? That's why we love you, Dane. You keep it honest. You're a blunt guy around here. That's why DeVere and I love you, man. But I have seen a nice portion of Tennessee fans already in the building today. Now, Buckeye Nation has kind of been put on notice by some national talking heads, by some people out there saying, this has got to be on you. You got to bring the juice. The difference between a normal home game and what we're going to see, which is odd to me, is that the college football playoff, they control the in-house atmosphere. So they control the scoreboard. They're going to control the music. They control sideline tickets. They control a lot of that. So it's a strange feel because while, yes, this is a home game, you're not going to have exactly everything that you're used to having in-house. So I do believe that Buckeye Nation, they got to rise up and hold it down, especially on those third downs when Tennessee's on offense and all those critical moments.
I think that it is a good thing. From what I can see of what the game last night was, and obviously I got some insiders there, so they sent me some pictures and videos. They said the atmosphere was awesome.
It came through the TV that way.
They said it was awesome. Yeah, so I'm excited to see. I think it's going to be more the same here. You're not going to get the paid sponsor stuff. You're going to have a great atmosphere. Yeah, the national talking heads, that's been annoying to watch because, and I get it from their perspective, and I would do the same thing if I was a national correspondent or reporter. You link onto a thing, and if you watched every one of their videos, they all end up saying the same thing. Oh, better have a fast start, or this fans are going to turn on you. Better have a fast start, or these fans are going to turn on you. It's like they're painting this picture that Ohio State has a fan base that is willing to sabotage their own national championship over their own emotions.
Which isn't true.
So, yes, the fans certainly need to show up, but I don't think it needs to take it needs any more of an emphasis than an 8 p.m. start that you haven't had all year in the biggest game of the year thus far for your season. It's a really, I get it, but it's a kind of naive national take.
Listen, I'm not concerned about the atmosphere tonight. I'm not concerned about it at all. There'll be the Scarlet out. I don't know how you feel about the Scarlet unis from head. You in on those as a former player?
Yeah, I think I am. I didn't know I had a take, but I saw a picture of it earlier today, and I think that looks pretty sweet.
Not mad at it. I said for this game, I would have preferred a blackout at night. Let's go all black. Black out the shoe. I'm never really a fan of remember the game against Michigan, Curtis Samuel leaped into the end zone, kind of like the cannonball helmet? Yeah. I didn't like that one, but I did like the black helmet with the shiny Buckeye leaves. That, to me, is what they should have rolled out today. But look, those are the small things to a giant on a day like that.
here or there, I kind of like that they're doing a little bit of change up with the uniforms because this is not a traditional game.
Yeah.
This is an opponent you almost never see. I kind of like doing something a little different.
Not mad at it. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. Visit Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Let's hear from Coach Day. We touched on a little bit of what happened a few weeks ago when the Wolverines are in town and how that didn't go Ohio State's way. Yet again, here's the head honcho on what the team's been doing since the Michigan game.
We had a week where we had a chance to make some adjustments, and then Sunday found out, who our opponent was, and then we're able to get right back into a routine. Did that last week, and then, we're back into our game routine this week. So didn't play the game this past week, but had a week to get our legs back underneath us, address some issues, get back on the field last week, and now, again, into the game week.
One other narrative that was out there for me that was a bit head-scratching was, some people questioning the desire of the team coming out of the Michigan game. And to me, that just never made any sense, Dane, because I'm like, well, yes, look, you lick your wounds for a little bit. You feel bad for yourself for a little bit. But then you wake up, I think, a few days later and say, well, everything we've grinded for, everything that we've talked about this offseason, both as a coaching staff and as players, you got to flush that and realize, what's ahead of us is the ultimate prize. And so I never understood people going down that pathway and thinking that this team wouldn't be juiced up for a game like this or for a tournament like this, if you will, because to me, there's no excuse for that. Because while, yes, no Big Ten title, no rivalry win against Michigan, sure, I get it, that sucks. But what you do it for, and correct me if I'm wrong, is this. Yes, the Michigan game is massive. I'm never going to undersell that. But if you're telling me as a player, right, that I get to play for the national championship potentially in a few games, I got to come in laser focused.
Yeah, this is a year like we've never seen.
Yeah.
And that is the reality. I think you need to address what the reality of this year is. Even different than last year, different than 2 years ago, is with this playoff setup, yeah, they've set up a world where your regular season doesn't mean as much. As we already talked about Oregon. They've done their job all year, and they have a tough road ahead of them. Yeah. So they've set up. Everybody wanted this big tournament, this big playoff. I think it is more of it's an invitation tournament is what it feels like. But yeah, I think you have to be able to set aside. Now this year for this team will always have an asterisk by it. If you go win a national championship and you're a 2-loss national championship, it's complicated. Yeah. There's going to be disputes. There's going to be. Did Oregon get screwed because, heck, they lost one game and to a team that they beat, they're 1-1. I can already see it play out. But if you're Ohio State, your job is to make this dispute happen.
No question.
Your job is to make it tough on everybody, make everybody have that argument. That's what college football is. Yep. Until you figure out a perfect way, it's always this mythical champion, right? It's like there's very few times when it is truly undisputed.
No question. I think it's well said. Let's go back to Coach Day. We talked about this home environment, playoff setting within the walls of playing for a national championship. Here is the head honcho again on having a playoff game at home.
I'm excited for our players. They've earned the opportunity to be in the playoffs. This is a new era, and our team is excited about that, and that's where the focus is right now. But I'm also excited for the fans to get back together, to be in the first playoff game ever at Ohio Stadium. And our team is going to compete for a national championship. We are in the playoffs. We got a great opponent coming in here. It's going to be an 8 o'clock kick. Our guys are going to play their tails off. Listening to the way that they spoke about their team, about their university yesterday at senior tackle, it just confirmed to me what I already knew, how much they love this program and how much they love this university. And they're going to play their tails off on Saturday. And I know the crowd's going to be on fire, and is going to make sure that they get back together here with a lot of passion, with a lot of intensity, and make sure that we get some momentum in this playoffs as we head into this thing.
We talked a little bit about the narrative out there about the fan base. One thing that better happen is the fan base needs to show up, because one thing that the fan base wasn't happy about all year was the amount of noon games that Ohio State had. This is what they wanted, right? This is what you wanted. I'm sure some people are saying give us some 3:30s or whatever, but this is what a lot of the chatter I've seen online and some other places where Buckeye Nation's saying, can we get a night game? Can we get? Well, here it is. and Frosty the Snowman, and everybody's taking over because it is cold as heck out here. It's going to get colder, but Buckeye fans have no excuse, and I think they're going to bring it, Dane. I think they're going to bring it. It's going to be rocking over there tonight.
They're rightfully in a place of like, hey, yeah, you gave us our night game, but look at how expensive the tickets are to get to our night game. Can you get a regular season one when it's not so cold? I don't think there's any. Back to your point about the motivation of these guys. Like, are they going to be ready to play in a game like this? Absolutely. I mean, just by the nature of you play this sport, you're part of this team, the environment alone is going to carry you through. You've been in there in night games, and no matter, I've never seen a team at Ohio State play flat at night. I just haven't. I can't. Nothing comes to mind and we've lost games. We've lost games that have gone in tonight. We played USC at home. We lost that game, but it's never because you came out and there wasn't a desire to do it. It's gonna be all the other things. It's gonna be how we manage this game, whose hands we get the ball in. It's not going to be a matter of like, oh man, what are we doing after this tonight? Like, that is not the world of college football anymore. These guys know they're here to do this. They're here to play in these games. That's why they came here. They're going to show up.
No question. When we come back in our What They're Saying segment, you will hear from Coach Day on Tennessee's defense and one key he believes needs to happen for his Buckeyes if they're going to get this thing done tonight. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. Visit Riverside Bank and experience the strength of local.
We're seeing just light to moderate volumes, specifically on the highways right now. 315 is moving nicely with no major issues. I-70, 71, and 670, all the same story. Now, once you get off on the side streets, things get a little more crowded, especially on Lane Avenue. That is a very busy spot right now between High Street and Olentangy River Road. You also have some backups on Neal Avenue, right around the 11th to 17th stretch. With game day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Every hockey player dreams of a hat trick.
And if you've ever seen one, you know it's a thrill when the hats hit the ice.
And now, it's hats off to Honda Marysville, because this season, every time a Blue Jacket scores a hat trick at Nationwide Arena,
Honda Marysville will give one lucky fan a 2-year lease on a new Honda Civic Sport on the spot.
So come to a game and cheer us on. Who knows?
A new car from Honda Marysville might be closer than you think.
Official rules at HondaMarysville.com/hat trick.
Taking out the trash. That's what we're all about at Bourne Brothers Waste Services. This is Justin Bourne,
Zach Bourne,
and Jacoby Bourne,
former Ohio State football players.
We are your company for all of your trash and recycling needs.
Providing services that include front-load containers, mini and large roll-offs, and compactors.
Contact us today for the best service in town.
Bourne Brothers.
Bourne Brothers.
The real local trash company.
Taking out the trash.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
The Buckeye Show.
Wouldn't you rather live in a world where you can still try to win a national championship? I would. We at least have a puncher's chance.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
Here we come a plumbing, we are known as Apex Pros. If you're plumbing,
honey, there's carolers at the door. I'm not sure with it.
Your furnace goes out, there's no one near. Apex Pros comes running.
Something about furnaces and plumbing, I think.
If your furnace dies or your pipes aren't clear, electric trouble in your home, Apex Pros are near.
No, it's not very good, is it? Come in.
Heating and plumbing, electrical too. Apex Pros knows what to do.
No, not really Christmassy to sing about plumbing and furnaces, is it? Oh, yeah, they got that guarantee. What's that called?
5-star guarantee.
Are they listening out there? Can they hear what we're saying? Yeah, I probably should just lock the door.
Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros, you just Apex.com.
If somebody is still asking what you want for Christmas, just tell them to sign you up for the Fan Golf League at Fairway Columbus. You don't want to miss out on all this fun. Chance to keep your game sharp, chance to get inside and still play golf during these winter months, and a chance to win signed memorabilia, game tickets, gift cards, and more, including some prize packs from Woodford Reserve. There's going to be drink specials every week, and there's that McGinnis Grill delicious food. The 12-week league starts on January 5th, and there are only a few spots remaining. Sign up now.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
Brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. Action going right now. Number 6, Penn State. They have a 38-3 lead over number 11, SMU, in the college football playoffs. Story of this one, SMU QB Kevin Jennings has 3 interceptions, 2 of which landed in the hands of Dominic DeLuca, 2 of which also were returned for touchdowns. The dynamic duo of Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, 23 carries, 158 yards, and 3 touchdowns combined. In the NFL, the Chiefs currently have a 17-16 lead over the Texans. The Texans are about to kick an extra point. They just scored a touchdown. C.J. Stroud's leading receiver, Tank Dell, has 6 catches, 98 yards. He just scored that touchdown, but it came at a price. Just blew out his knee. And in the game still looking ahead, number 12 Clemson at number 5 Texas. It's going to be at 4 o'clock. Steelers and Ravens is going to be at 4:30. 8 o'clock, the big one. Number 9 Tennessee, number 8 Ohio State.
Saturday in Ohio. Birds are chirping. The sky is, blue-gray? I don't know. This is recorded in advance. But the most wonderful thing of all is Buckeye football. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. It's time to find out what they're saying.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. I'm Matty Ice. Got the former Buckeye wide receiver Dane Sanzenbacher getting you ready for Ohio State and Tennessee over at the Shoe. Dane, I just checked the spread on this thing. It started at 7.5 early in the week. We are now at 7. So not a lot of movement on that line. Vegas expecting a pretty good game. You got the 8 and 9 seeds getting after it here at the Shoe. But let's go back to Coach Day. Here he is on, getting off to a fast start, how important he believes that is.
The first thing is it's about getting the first down. And what does that entail? Execution. And starts on first down, getting 4 yards or more. And whether you're running or passing, whatever that might be, you got to execute at a high level. And then how you execute on first and second down dictates what type of situation you're in on third down. And you look back on our last game, we only had, I think it was just over 30% were first and second down plays and what we call CNN, situation normal, and the rest of them were situational plays. And so we've got to do well in the situations. We've got to do well when we are in third down. We've got to do well when we get into the red zone, 2-minute situations. These are all situational things that when you look at big games, that they become magnified, and when you look at the NFL playoffs every year, it's even more magnified, and it'll be that way this Saturday.
You know, one area of concern, I think, for everybody is this offensive line for Ohio State and what that's going to look like. You know, it started, unfortunately, in the Oregon game where Josh Simmons went down, your left tackle, who looks like, you know, this is mock draft season, Dane, so you don't want to go crazy about seeing his name in a bunch of first-round, you know, mock drafts. So he's a talented guy. The NFL believes that. And then you lose your starting center. You lose your starting center in Seth McLaughlin, who won the Remington Trophy this year for the best center in the country. And just pairing that with what Coach Day said and the importance of punching Tennessee's D-line in the mouth on first and second down. Will they be able to do that? Because when you look at Tennessee and what they bring to the table, they've got a good pass rusher in James Pierce. He leads their team in sacks with 7. He led the SEC in pressures this year. And so can they avoid those third and longs and allowing a guy like James Pierce and a bunch of other guys on that D-line who are pretty good to not tee off? And that's a big area of concern for me, right? Because you know better than I do. Like, you don't got to have good offensive line play. Your offense is going to really struggle and not have a lot of flow. So that's where my eyes are going to go early and often, Dane, is the offensive line unit for Ohio State and what type of punch they can provide today.
Yeah, I don't think I'm off base in saying the coaching staff has a lot to prove in this game.
That's fair.
Because of what we watched in the Michigan game. The players do too. Mm-hmm. The players have to show up. But I think a lot of eyeballs are going to be on that. I'm less concerned about what their game plan is going into the game. I don't really care as much as how you're reacting to what you're getting. Maybe the run game does take off. If it does, then roll with it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, I just want them to be able to react and just take whatever it is. There's no, we said we're going to run the ball, so we're going to try to run the ball. Or we said we're going to try to pass it, so we're going to pass it. Take what the game's giving to you.
Yeah.
I looked up some stuff because I know this is really good coaches operate in that way. And I think this is a really good coaching staff. Mm-hmm. Coach Tressel, in 2006 and 2007, both Michigan games. And this is why I think he was so good. Granted, Maddie, these Michigan teams were not good. That was another thing I learned looking back at this. Yeah. I was all proud at how many times I beat Michigan. Oh, my gosh. 1-6, 3-7, 3-7. I'm like, I guess I'm proud of it.
You'll take the gold pants, baby, okay? Take those gold pants and run with them, Dave.
I don't know how proud we should have been. But the point is, 2006, 1 verse 2. We came in, we threw the ball 41 times. Mm-hmm. The game called for it. We had the guys to do it. That's how we wanted to do it. That's in the game evolved that way.
Yeah.
Sure, you always want to run the ball in that game. Everybody says Michigan run the ball. Threw the crap out of the ball in that game. Yeah. Won it. Next year at Michigan, start the game. You have a game plan. Whatever it dictates. Threw the ball 13 times. Mm-hmm. Won it that way. I want you to, like, good teams, good coaches, you can have a game plan. That's great. And you should have one. But it's more about how you're adjusting to what's happening here. If you think you're going to, even going into this game, you think the play is get the ball out to your playmakers, which we think it should be. Mm-hmm. If it so happens that in the first quarter you realize, we're actually running on this really good defensive, then run it.
Stick with it.
Then stick with it. Like, I don't really care what you plan to do or want to do. Just find a way to do it. Do what's working. Get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. Don't overthink this thing. Just cook. I just do what you got to do on offense.
I think that was the beef for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Going back to the Michigan game is exactly what you described. And what's frustrating when you look back at that scenario, I think for a lot of people, is knowing that you have the dudes to do exactly what you just said. You have the dudes to go into any game as a play caller and realize, okay, you know what? The pass game's not working. We got horses in the backfield, and vice versa. The run game ain't working. We got dudes on the outside to get the ball to. So we've heard for years and years and years, coaches always want balance, and I get that throughout a game, right? You don't ever want to be, predictable with what you're doing, but don't also be, I don't know if ignorance is probably too strong, but just don't keep beating your head up against the wall sometimes, trying to maybe prove a point. And I know coming out of the Michigan game, that was a bit of the vibe, right? Is that this coaching staff, the offensive coaching staff, wanted to prove that we are tough enough to play the same game as Michigan, and we're going to win the game that way.
That's what it came off as. I don't know what the true answer is. I've been going in circles for 2 weeks too. I have to believe that this staff particularly Coach Day and Coach Kelly, are too professional to actually have thought that. I don't know what was going on, and that's you're right. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like and felt like. I would have to think that you wouldn't have that simple of a mindset going into that game. I give them the benefit of there had to have been something else going on there. But I think it is hard for coaches that are so good and so locked into this to have these strong beliefs but hold them loosely. Like, you might believe, dude, we've got the running game. We know we can pop this. You have the balance of being able to say yeah, but all right, let's chuck it. Yeah. Let's throw it. Screw it. There's a balance that some coaches can find and strike and work with what's happening right in front of them. Yeah. It can be tough, but that is what I'm most looking forward to. And I think, 2 years ago we saw it when they played Georgia coming off a Michigan loss. We at least know it has been done. Coach Day has it in him. Yeah. So that's my hope for this evening.
Just how you said, we don't know where their psyche was, where their mental was throughout the game with the play calling in the Michigan game. We also don't know where they were mentally in that Georgia game. However, there was a different feel to that game, whether it was Coach Day, whether it was CJ, or the both of them collectively getting together and saying, this is going to be different for us. We're going down swinging. And it just came through the TV screen as a different CJ Stroud, a different Ryan Day, and you were a field goal away on New Year's Eve for going into the Natty and probably winning the thing, right? And within that game, too, the best wide receiver in the country, arguably that year, Marvin Harrison Jr., gets knocked out. And so I do think that's the Ryan Day that will show up today. I think he's coming out, hair down, chest hair out, feeling good about himself as a play caller, because you have no excuse not to do that. Because you laid it out so well, Dane, with the offensive ability that they have. Now, the offensive line has to do their part. They have to do their part. And for me, that's a big red flag today, because you're coming into the game with some major question marks, which we'll talk about throughout the show. But I don't think the coaching staff has any excuse. You don't want to be, not smart about what you're doing with your operation on offense. But when it comes to what you're talking about, it's the reason why these guys are here at Ohio State, because they're some of the best players in the country. So let those guys absolutely shine. When we come back in our One Tough Animal segment, Dane and I will highlight a guy around college football that's been playing at a high level over the last couple weeks. And then you will hear from Jim Knowles talking about the defense's responsibility tonight against the Tennessee Volunteers. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. Visit Riverside Bank and experience the strength of local.
Checking those ODOT traffic cameras, it's really not a bad time to take a drive on 315. Just looked at all of the exit ramps. 315 at Lane, Ackerman, the King Ave Medical Center, and Kinnear exits. All of them are moving nicely with no major issues. A reminder, pretty chilly out there. We could have some slick spots, so leave yourself plenty of stopping distance and be prepared for that. With game day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
This season, there's a system for every home and budget at Logan Services. Save big with our furnace sale. Payments start at $49 a month for 144 months. Plus, save up to $2,000 on a qualifying train system. Choose from our free stocking stuffers for extra home comfort. And don't forget about tax credits. Schedule your free estimate now and get next day installation with fast, friendly service from Logan Services.
Some things in life are meant for each other, like salt and pepper, bacon and mushrooms, or you and the all-new Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, does bacon go with mushrooms? And the answer is, they do now. So if you want crispy, crunchy, cheesy, juicy, shroomy, and garlic spready, then you and the Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger are meant to be. For mushroomy, bacony goodness, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Sarah, it's been ages. How are things?
Hey, Lisa. Things are okay, I guess. Things with Mark haven't felt the same lately.
Oh, Sarah, that is so common. It could just be ED or low testosterone.
Really? I didn't even think about that. I was blaming myself.
Yeah, Jim had ED and low T. I thought I was doing something wrong, but it's just a medical condition. Now he's passionate about his job again, lost a little weight, and even put on some muscle since he went to Columbus Men's Clinic. They specialize in ED and low T treatments, and you should see the way he looks at me now.
Columbus Men's Clinic delivers powerful, personalized treatments to reignite the passion in your relationship, even if other pills and treatments haven't done the job. Don't let ED or low T put a damper on what should be the best time of the year.
I forgot how we used to feel. I got my husband back.
Dial 614-300-7400 or visit ColumbusMen'sClinic.com today and rekindle the magic, because you both deserve to feel the joy this season brings. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money, Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
Toyotathon is on. The perfect time to shop for a new SUV with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through January 6th, get any new Highlander or Grand Highlander with 5.99 APR financing up to 72 months, including hybrid models, with $1,657 per thousand borrowed, subject to approved credit through TFS. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Expect partly sunny skies this afternoon with high temperatures only around 30 degrees. We'll fall through the 20s this evening, and it's going to be a cold one for the Buckeye game. We'll see temperatures fall down into the teens tonight with decreasing clouds. Lows around 17. Tomorrow, high pressure builds in, and we are going to see plenty of sunshine with high temperatures back around 30. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Erica Kalora.
It's game day on the Fan.
Sponsored by Reichert Chevy.
Have fun. Keep your pads on. Go Bucks. Always and forever your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. How do you know it's Buckeye game day? Because I've ripped my shirt off in celebration. Do you like the Brutus tattoo on my chest? This is the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. The Fan's one tough animal.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. I'm Matty Ice. Got the former Buckeye wide receiver Dane Sanzenbacher in the house getting you ready for Ohio State and Tennessee. 8 o'clock kick at the shoe. Vols fans are here rocking and rolling.
Oh, he brought a flag. Hey, keep it away from midfield, sir.
Could be some
too soon.
No, it's not.
Okay, sorry.
No, I got an idea that I want to run by you too that Dan DeVere did not like when it comes to flag planting, but we'll get to that eventually throughout the show. My one tough animal for this week, Dane, is the Heisman Trophy winner. It's Travis Hunter. It's Travis Hunter because when you look at what he did defensively as a shutdown corner, taking away a large portion of the field there, 4 interceptions, a lot of PBUs this year, that's impressive. But really, what takes it and puts it over the top is when you have that same cornerback that plays wide receiver and finishes 7th in the country in receiving yards. It's pretty eye-opening that he was that good as an offensive player as well. This isn't a guy that was just getting by. This isn't a guy that was, 30th in the country, 25th. The guy was top 10 in the country in receiving yards and had 14 receiving touchdowns as well. Complete player, the Shohei Ohtani of college football this year. Very interested to see where this goes in the NFL, what he prefers to do, what the team that drafts him prefers to do. But all in all, this is about what he did in 2024. And the dude was just an absolute dog out there on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's the Shohei Ohtani if Ohtani played for the Columbus Clippers.
You know what? You ain't right, man. You ain't right, Dave.
Man, I just let you do that whole thing about how great.
And I could see it in your face when I was saying it, that you weren't buying what I was selling.
You were going for it, though, so I wanted to let you do it.
I'm just laying out the facts, okay?
Those are the facts. You know what I couldn't find was how many times he was targeted. I couldn't find it online anywhere. I have to. And maybe I'm just kind of a hater on this because I'm like, I am, because this hype machine got built for Travis Hunter. Okay, it could have, I think, only happened in a universe of Deion Sanders college football, that it's like, okay, hype this thing up. He was great. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Do I think he's the only person? Do I think he's a unicorn? I don't.
Really?
I don't.
Really?
I think there are athletes in college football that could do this, but they're not in positions to do it. That wouldn't happen at Ohio State.
Let me ask you this.
It wouldn't happen at Georgia.
Which side of the ball do you think is easiest to manage for him? Or which side of the ball do you believe more
It's
players
easier
around the
to
country
come
could
over.
do?
It's easier to come over and play receiver.
Okay.
I think there are probably a lot of really good defensive backs in the country that could play some receiver. And if targeted enough, and if you're in games that your coach wanted you to do it, you could do it. Now, I don't think it's like, do you see it in the NFL?
You don't.
Why?
You don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing, though.
But I don't think it's because you would get too tired. I think the idea that it's like, oh, this is an impossible task. I mean, you stay involved and get locked in games. I said it earlier. In a game like this, when it's freezing cold, man, I'd love to play two ways. You stay locked into the game. You stay making plays. Receivers and corners, you're not going to get that tired. You really aren't. Half the plays, you're taking them off. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're just like going through the motions, blocking. You have breaks. You go in spurts.
I got it. I hear you.
So that's just my cynical take on Travis Hunter. I think he's great, but I think there was also this like, he caught a perfect storm of stuff. Okay. I was more of a Genty guy, and I'm surprised you aren't beating that drum, dude.
Listen,
you were all year.
I love
that was your tough animal.
I did, but when I zoomed out and I realized maybe how good's too strong, where he finished statistically on offense, that being Travis Hunter.
He was better than I thought, because I went in my research to be a hater on him. I got to his stats on offense. I was like, uh-oh.
That's where I was at. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay.
Like 14 is a lot.
To Ashton
14 is a lot of touchdowns to catch. That's a lot.
It's a lot of tutties to get busy on, man. But to your point about Ashton Genty, it was historical. It was. And when you're knocking on the doors of the likes of a Barry Sanders and names like that, and that type of history, you deserve to be in that Heisman conversation, which he was. I just think any other year. Because I do think Travis Hunter can be labeled as a unicorn for what he did, because we don't see this. This is a once a decade, once every couple decades type of thing, maybe even more than that we get with the sport. So, look, what he does in the NFL, we shall see. Maybe it's something that he can't pull off, but to your point, maybe because of the way those positions that he plays, the way everything's physically demanding, but what you described, I think, is very accurate. Maybe he can get away with it.
I should say, if there was any positions where you could do it, it's way out on the outside there. It's corner receiver.
No doubt.
Like any other place, you're going to struggle.
Game day coverage is sponsored by Riker Chevy on the Fan Ohio Sports Destination. Let's hear from Jim Knowles. A lot of focus this week is going to be on the defense and what they can do. Cole World, let's go down to that second one. Give me clip number 2 on Dylan Sampson in this UT run game.
They spread you out from sideline to sideline, and they create seams in your defense, and combine that with tempo. You have to get lined up fast. It's a challenge. But and we got the right guys to do it, and I'm confident in our players. They've been working hard and confident in the plan.
Dane, what are your thoughts on that offensive system, that Tennessee's going to come out here with, where they make you guard so much of the field, right, from sideline to sideline, with their receivers being, at the numbers or outside the numbers and all of those things, and the hash marks in that area of the field. Talk about that from a wide receiver's perspective and the challenges that can pose to an opposing defense.
I always like the wider the better.
Yeah.
You just give yourself more space, especially when you're running the ball as well as this Tennessee team does. Mm-hmm. This offense is well suited to compete with Ohio State. I think if you have a strength going into a game like this, that's the one you would want it to be. Yeah. But I think what Coach Knowles said that I agree with, too, is I think we've got the guys to handle it. I mean, I think this defense has been obviously, the stats bear it out, this defense has been very, very good. Yeah. I think they're up to this challenge. I think it will be a challenge. I think you're winning if you're Ohio State's defense, if you're forcing Nico Iamaleava.
Yeah, he's good. You've been practicing that, haven't you?
In my head, I was like, do I go for it or do I not? And I was like, I'm doing it.
We've all been in the same boat. We're where we were years ago, where Tua came onto the scene, and we had to work our way through the Tua Tagovailoa thing. Yeah. And now here we are with Nico Iamaleava. And here's the good thing. We got a whole nother year because the guy's going to be coming back next year. But I'm proud of you. That was pretty good.
Iamaleava.
No,
you were just wrong.
I'm wrong.
You were wrong.
What are you? Okay.
Molly, like the name.
Molly.
Ava, like lava.
Okay.
We talked to the guy, the insider from the Tennessee guy that called into the show earlier this week, taught us. But anyways, if you're getting him, if you're forcing him to have a breakout performance, you're in a good place for Ohio State. Now, he could do it.
Yeah.
He's a talented kid, but I think that's what you want to test.
Yeah, he's had some inconsistencies through the air this year, but he is a freshman, right? You expect that from freshmen, but he's had some moments where you watch the guy and you're like, man, this dude's got it all as far as what you want from a pocket passer, with what he can do there, what he can do on the outside when plays break down, or because of how good Dylan Sampson is, he gets into situations with this RPO offense. That defense is honed in so much on Sampson. He reads it, keeps it, and gets outside or can take a long one to the house or whatever that may be. So I think you brought up what's very important in this game is if they can not completely take away the run game, because I don't know if that's going to happen.
Right.
But if you could find yourself throughout this game in some 3rd and 6+ situations and say, okay, here you are, kids. See if you can beat these defensive backs that we have, and JT and Jack can get downhill and hunt. I think that's exactly where you want to be.
And again, that's the game plan.
Yeah.
That's what I would say going in. Like that's the game plan. But if that changes, there's all kinds of things that could change that. Maybe they run the ball over. We pick up some big turnovers. Mm-hmm. I guess maybe I'm just hedging because my predictions have been. I'm not as good at predicting things.
None of us are. None of us, really, if you think about it.
That's actually right. But we spend all this time,
Nobody's really good at predicting.
I swore we were going to win by 3 touchdowns last time we were out here. Yeah, so that's what I said. If I'm game planning, you have to have a game plan. That would be it.
Yeah.
It would be do what you can schematically to force Nico to beat you.
Yeah,
force him to throw it around and then play ball from there.
No question. Because it's rare to me where you have a conference player of the year that isn't a quarterback. And that's the case in the SEC. Their running back, Dylan Sampson, was the SEC Player of the Year. So you'll see a receiver, running back every now and then, but usually it's the quarterback, right? They get all the attention. They have some of the eye-popping stats and those type of things, but that's how good Sampson has been.
Well, weird year for quarterbacks in general. We just talked about the Heisman stuff. Who was the top quarterback in that conversation? Dylan Gabriel? Yeah. Like you're talking about, it's rare to have running backs, but there hasn't been a standout guy in the SEC that's been, this is the dude.
Yep.
And these running backs have showed up, and we have one coming to town now.
No doubt about it. When we come back, the man that sits on the Iron Throne at 10 TV, Adam King, joins the program to give his thoughts on the Buckeyes crawling out of the Michigan hole and what he expects tonight in the college football playoff here at the Shoe against the Tennessee Volunteers. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show right here on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. Visit Riverside Bank and experience the strength of local.
We're seeing just a slight uptick in traffic volume right now, but still moving nicely. Primarily, we're looking at the 315 northbound exit ramp to Lane Avenue. Yeah, that's the spot that's kind of a little busy right now. Not too bad. You're not going to find yourself slowing down too much. Once you're off of the highway, it could be a different story, especially on Lane Avenue. It's pretty crowded between Olentangy River Road and High Street. Also, Kenny Road has a bit of volume between Ackerman and Lane. With game day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford. That means we got the car you need at the price you want. But don't take it from me. Hear it from
Ohio State captain Travion Henderson.
Reichert has what I'm looking for.
Defensive star Jack Sawyer.
Grew up watching these guys on TV. My family's bought tons of cars for them.
Cody Simon.
You get the right car at Reichert. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Make your shopping stress-free this holiday season. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. As your one-stop luxury destination for over 77 years, we offer everything from brilliant diamonds to classic timepieces and the world's finest fashion jewelry. With every gift wrapped in our signature blue box, you'll be saving time and giving joy, all with guaranteed best prices that no one can match. Experience holiday shopping the way it should be. Simple and unforgettable. Visit Diamond Cellar on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
Hear those leaves crunching under your feet? Feel that cool nighttime air? It's definitely fall in Ohio. Fall is the perfect time to have the Waterworks inspect and tune up your furnace before the cold winter months hit. To inspect and protect your family against those wintertime furnace breakdowns, call 614-232-2222. Or visit thewaterworks.com today to schedule your fall furnace inspection and tune-up. Winter is just days away.
This holiday season, gather your friends and family at Schmidt's Sausage Haus in historic German Village. Come enjoy the favorite pregame meal, our world-famous Bahama Mama, and those irresistible jumbo cream puffs. It's the perfect way to celebrate the magic of this season. And don't forget to grab a Schmidt's gift card while you're here. It's the holiday gift that keeps on giving. From our family to yours, happy holidays from Schmidt's. Real German food.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
If somebody is still asking what you want for Christmas, just tell them to sign you up for the Fan Golf League at Fairway Columbus. You don't want to miss out on all this fun. Chance to keep your game sharp, chance to get inside and still play golf during these winter months, and a chance to win signed memorabilia, game tickets, gift cards, and more, including some prize packs from Woodford Reserve. There's going to be drink specials every week, and there's that McGinnis Grill delicious food. The 12-week league starts on January 5th, and there are only a few spots remaining. Sign up now.
This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
Brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. Penn State, SMU just went final in State College. Penn State won that one 38-10. If you want to know how that game went, Penn State benched their starters with 10 minutes left. Local boy Ethan Gruckmeyer actually got to get some run in that game. SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings had 3 interceptions. 2 of them returned for a touchdown, and 2 of them landed in the arms of Dominic DeLuca. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen were the lead horses in this one. 23 carries combined, 158 yards, and 3 touchdowns. In the NFL, the Chiefs are currently leading the Texans 24-16. Xavier Worthy just caught a touchdown. Texans leading receiver Tank Dell, he had 6 catches, 98, and a touchdown before leaving the game due to injury. Looking ahead to what's going on a little bit later, we are approaching 4 o'clock, which means Clemson and Texas time. Steelers and Ravens will be at 4:30. Buckeye football at 8 o'clock. Buckeye basketball at 5:30.
You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Getting you ready for another Buckeye victory. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back into the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. I'm Matty Ice. Got the former Buckeye wide receiver Dane Sanzenbacher in the house, getting you ready for Ohio State and Tennessee. How you feeling, Dane?
Good. And we got the first looks right now, folks, of what a night game looks like.
Oh yeah, somebody just drove by and
some people that already look like they've been up since little. Yep. I'm going to say there's going to be some juice in here tonight.
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
far, a lot of Tennessee fans so far pretty respectful. One guy with the flag.
Yeah.
Didn't love that. It's a bold move to bring it, but for the most part, I'm okay right now. It could be a civil matchup from people who have not been here before. Not a lot of bad blood built up between these two. I'll say that.
Not yet. This is I think 1996 was the last time we saw this with old Peyton Manning, quarterback in the Tennessee Vols. You know who always brings the juice is the man that sits on the Iron Throne at 10 TV. His name is Adam King, and he joins the program now. AK, happy game day again, my man. How we feeling today? AK?
Serves him right. Serves him right.
Because AK was supposed to be here with us on site. I don't know what happened. I heard from AK a few moments ago. I guess he'll pop up here in a moment. But
our plan was to hang up on him anyway because he was supposed to join us out here and decided to do it from the warm. Oh no.
AK, are you there?
Hey, how you doing, guys? I just had the fish man come save the day. He strolled in here looking handsome as ever, and he absolutely saved the day. I was gonna tell you guys, I'm sitting in here and I'm feeling something. I think they call it heat.
Yeah.
I think it's called heat.
Okay.
It's delightful, I'll tell you.
You know what? You ain't right, first of all, because you looked at me in the eye and said, Matty Ice, I'm joining you guys on the grounds, live and in the flesh on Saturday. And now here we are. We're outside. We're outside getting it in, and you're in the cozy studio. Would you like to explain yourself?
Well, so, we only get a certain amount of parking passes. I think 10 TV alone gets 42. But, wanted to make sure that we had some other people that could ride with me. They weren't ready to go at 3:30, and I said, don't worry, Matty Ice isn't that important. So we'll hang out until 4 o'clock and head down there, and then I can go say hi to him.
All right, fair enough. You're lucky I like you, AK. You're lucky I like you.
Yeah, Adam, my plan was to call you just to get you halfway through your explanation and then hang up.
Oh,
But Matty said no. He's like, Matty, that's cool.
That's the way you should have done it.
That's how I wanted to
Instead, you just didn't even let my mic talk.
Well, that was just you not turning off the mute button. I do it all the time. It's all right, man.
That's
It's
fair.
all right. It happens.
Rookie move.
I know. So, Adam, you spend a lot more time around the team and program directly than we do. So we always like to get your take on, what's the vibe around the program, and never has that been a bigger question than right now. So, your take on the preparation leading up to this game, how much has this team put Michigan behind them and focused, or do you still feel like there's a little something lingering?
So I actually want to give the program credit here for one thing. They didn't really sugarcoat this. They didn't really lie. They didn't really say, hey, on the Sunday after the selection show, we're good. We're moving on. Everybody's happy. They admitted it hurt. And that first week waiting and watching was a lot of pain. It was a lot of regrouping. It was a lot of how do we go forward. And the guys were open about that. And then they, I have been a proponent, and I'll say this, and it's not a popular opinion right now, but of course you want to beat Michigan. It's the game you circle every year. It's the game that more so is just strictly about pride. I mean, it's just something when you grow up in Columbus, it is a thing that you are raised with. I mean, they put the blanket on you when you're born at Ohio State that says beat Michigan. But the ultimate goal is still here. And I kind of resonated a lot with what Nick Saban said last night, which is, I understand the frustration about the Michigan game, but they can win a national title. They are one of the most talented teams in this playoff. If they put it together, fans, I understand the frustration, but it's time to go. It's game on. We've got a football game here in less than 5 hours, and the Buckeyes are 4 wins from a national title. They get that. They're hurting from Michigan, but they've moved on because they know the bigger trophy. Only one team gets that trophy.
He's Adam King. He's fired up. He's from 10 TV. He's giving us his take on Ohio State and Tennessee. AK, there's so many things that you can unpack in a game like this, right? That's the beauty of the playoff is you get into this, and sometimes you get some evenly matched games. Some people believe there's some of that could go on tonight with the respect that Tennessee has coming from the conference that they're in. When you look at these two teams right now going head-to-head, what's one big headline for Adam King when we kick this thing off tonight at 8 o'clock?
Well, I think the big headline is the cold, but remember, both teams have to play it, and I don't care what you say. I mean, there's a reason I'm sitting in this studio right now. I was born in Columbus, but I don't like the cold. Cole's sitting in the other studio. He doesn't like the cold. But I'll tell you the big storyline here, and it's simple. It's Ohio State's defense versus that Tennessee offense. I want to see it. I know there's a lot of questions around the Ohio State offense. I think they will get that figured out. I think they will. I think they'll play to the offense we saw a lot of this year. I want to see this Buckeye defense go up against this Tennessee running back. He's one of the best backs in the country. And, I have said all year long, this Tennessee quarterback, in watching him play, has missed a lot of deep balls. And I think that's where you can most take advantage of this Buckeye team. So I want to see how Denzel Burke and IGB stack up when the balls start taking deep shots, and see if they can hit them. See if Nico can hit the guys downfield.
Without penalty, I hope to.
If I was Jim Knowles, I would say he hasn't been as accurate downfield. So don't get handsy.
Don't bail him out.
Exactly. Don't let him just throw the ball up there for a penalty.
Yeah, no doubt, AK. I think it's well said, my man. All right, before we let you get out of here for the day, where can the folks follow you on socials, TVs, all that good stuff as we get ready for a massive game here at the Shoe?
Well, Adam King, 10 TV. And if you've got a second today, there's a cool story I did yesterday. It's out there about a kid. He's dealing with Sanfilippo syndrome, which is what they characterize as childhood Alzheimer's. And actually, Tennessee fans, one started, Bo Camaro's his name, or his Twitter handle, started raising money for him. He's a Buckeye fan, the child and his family are. They ended up raising $20,000. Vol fans, Michigan fans, Oklahoma fans. Ryan Day got the guy tickets. His family got Clark and the Buckeye fans tickets to the game to be here today. So go give that story a look, and just a really cool moment to see these two fan bases come together.
No doubt. It's good stuff. You got a final score you want to bless us with?
So I'm between 24-20 and 31-20. I think I'm sticking with 24-20, but I do think the Buckeyes might get into the 30s if things go well.
Okay, there we go. He's Adam King, the man that sits on the Iron Throne at 10 TV. AK, as always, man, we appreciate your time, and sure you'll have a great night on 10 TV and everywhere else. Appreciate you, man.
I will bring you guys hand warmers.
Hey, and Adam, nobody likes the cold, but it's about tolerating it and how you approach it, just so you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
all right, we'll see you. It's good talk. Thanks for calling, man.
Oh, God, thanks for having me.
It's breaking up.
See you. There he goes, Adam King from 10 TV. When we come back, we'll hit you with our Behind Enemy Lines segment. That will feature Patrick Brown, who covers the University of Tennessee for 24/7 Sports. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. Visit Riverside Bank and experience the strength of local.
Things are moving okay on the highways and the side streets, although we are seeing the volumes pick up just a bit. 315 between Ackerman Road and 670, both north and southbound. No major hassles right now. You will start to see things back up just a little bit near those off-ramps, especially the Lane Avenue ramps right now. They're the busy ones, but once you're past that, you're moving nicely. On Lane Avenue, Avenue, a lot slower right now between High Street and Olentangy River Road with game day traffic on Cape Burdette on the Fan.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and I've been talking about High Bank whiskey for a while now, and I'm not alone. This just in, High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America for the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. It's simply the largest spirits competition in the world, and we've got the best right here in Columbus, Ohio. So the next time you're looking for a pour of the good stuff, stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or stop into the 3 restaurant locations in Gahanna, Grandview, or Westerville. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Here we come at plumbing, we are known as Apex Pros. If you're plumbing,
honey, there's carolers at the door. I'm not sure with
your furnace goes out, there's no one near. Apex Pros comes running.
Something about furnaces and plumbing, I think.
If your furnace dies or your pipes aren't clear, electric trouble in your home, Apex Pros are near.
No, it's not very good, is it? Come in.
Heating and plumbing, electrical too. Apex Pros knows what to do.
No, not really Christmassy to sing about plumbing and furnaces, is it? Oh, yeah, they got that guarantee. What's that called?
5-star guarantee.
Are they listening out there? Can they hear what we're saying? Yeah, I probably should just lock the door.
Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros, you did Apex.com.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box,
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
Toyotathon is on. The perfect time to save on a new Toyota truck. Now through January 6th, get a great lease deal or $2,000 customer cash on a new 24 or 25 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or get 3.99 APR financing plus $1,000 APR cash on remaining new 24 Tacomas. With approved credit through TFS. Excludes TRD Pro and Trailhunter models. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Nobody builds trucks better than Toyota. Let's go places.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. There's a lot of HVAC companies out there. I trust Care with my business, and I know you'll be satisfied customers. I am the most miserable person on earth, so if I'm satisfied, you know they must be doing something right. But don't take my word for it. Care has been named the 2024 winner of the Better Business Bureau Torch Award for Ethics. That's a polite way of saying they provide you with excellent product and service, and most importantly, they never screw you over. Here's another example. Lennox. They sell tons of product all over the country. They've awarded Care their Lennox 2024 Partner of the Year Award. Just bragging at this point. I suggested a new tagline for Care Heating and Cooling. Here it is. Obnoxiously efficient. They didn't like it, but I stand by it. Don't wait for your furnace to crap out this winter. Get on their Care plan and get your unit checked before the pipes freeze. And it costs you thousands of dollars, and your wife swears at you. That certainly never happened to me. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. This is the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your flagship home for Buckeye football, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. The Fans behind enemy lines.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers. Visit your local Central Ohio Ford dealer today.
All right, Behind Enemy Lines this week is going to be brought to you by Patrick Brown, who covers UT football for 24/7 Sports. He joined us on Rothman and Ice yesterday. Here's that interview for you now.
All right, welcome back into the big game preview. Vols and Buckeyes Saturday night at the Shoe. First round of the playoffs. Can't get any bigger than this. We welcome in Patrick Brown. Go Vols 24/7, covers Tennessee. Patrick, great to have you.
Appreciate you guys having me on. Looking forward to this big football game on Saturday night.
Yeah, and I'm sure your fans are as well. I'll hit you with the big one right out of the gate. How does a kid from Long Beach, California, a quarterback, making maybe his 14th start, how will he perform in 25 to 30 degree weather in your mind?
Well, that's been a big talking point throughout the last couple of weeks since this matchup was confirmed. And Nico Iamaleava talked a little bit about this week about the weather. He said he played a 7-on-7 tournament in Chicago in some snow a couple years ago. Recall throwing a couple touchdown passes. His team got to the semifinals of that tournament. So he's played the cold before, but he even admitted that it was probably a bigger talking point amongst people like us and maybe the fans too. But it'll be cold. I mean, I think everybody knows that it'll be cold for both teams, but it'll have to be managed. But I think probably once you get out there and get playing, you start forgetting about how cold it is and start focusing on what you got to do.
I want to flip it over to the defensive side of things for Tennessee, because I'm sure you've heard the noise around Ohio State's offensive line and that unit being figured out, it seems like, on the fly this week. Run us through some of the names on that defensive line that may have a chance to get after a unit that may come into this game with not a whole bunch of confidence on their side of things.
Well, this Tennessee defensive line has been the strength of a defense that is top 5 in scoring and yards allowed, and they're a deep group. They go really 1 through 6 at defensive tackle without much of a drop-off. They've got some veterans that have played a lot of football in the SEC there with Amari Thomas and Bryson Eason. Omar Norman Lotz, an NFL prospect that's a really good interior pass rusher. There's some other guys in there that help them stop the run and are able to get in the backfield and generate a lot of tackles for loss. That's sort of what Tennessee's defense is built on, is generating negative plays and getting off the field on third down. But I would say probably the headliner of that group is James Pierce Jr. He's probably going to be a first-round draft pick coming off the edge. Had 10 sacks last season as a sophomore. It's been a little bit quieter this season, but still is one of the SEC leaders in pressures. He's really tough to block off the edge. They've got Joshua Josephs, another guy that's sort of come into his own this season off the edge. And there's some other guys as well. I mean, they will rotate 10 to 12 guys easily with that group. And there's not a lot of drop-off there. And it's kind of been a theme all season that it's almost like a different guy pops up and makes a play. A different guy comes up with a sack on third down. They've had a couple guys that aren't starters, but have been able to make plays in the backfield to force safeties. So they're a really disruptive group, and it really starts with them. You look at Tennessee's loss to Georgia. That was a game a few weeks ago where the defensive line was really kind of neutralized, and that allowed Carson Beck to take advantage of the other parts of this defense. So Tennessee's defensive line is really got to show up in this game, and if Tennessee's going to get out of there with the win, that group's going to have to win that matchup with that offensive line that obviously Ohio State's got a couple of starters down and trying to figure things out, like you said. So that's one area where if you're Tennessee, that's a path to victory, is your defensive line playing up to its potential and doing what it's done all year and creating a lot of havoc and a lot of negative plays for Ohio State.
Patrick Brown with us. Go Vols 24/7 as we break it down. Buckeyes and Tennessee in the Shoe on Saturday night. So Dylan Sampson is clearly the engine that makes that offense go. Even he never really had a clunker in my mind this year. Even in the losses, even the loss to Arkansas and that loss to Georgia you spoke of, he had good games. How many carries does he need to have on Saturday night for the pathway for the offense to feel good about it?
As many as he can handle. His workload this season has been really remarkable. I think he's at 256 carries. I think that's almost 70 more than the next highest rusher in the SEC. And there's not a lot of guys that have been over 250 carries in that league over the past few years, really. So he's not the biggest guy at 5'11", around 200 pounds, but he really focused this offseason on sort of building up his body. He put on 10 pounds of bulk and muscle and to add to his frame. So he would be able to handle this, such a workload. And he's, gotten upwards of 25 and, 30 touches a game in SEC play, which obviously is a very physical league. And at that position in particular, you're obviously taking a physical beating. I think the time off between games helped. He said earlier this week that this is probably the best he's felt all season. I'm sure Tennessee has kept his practice workload pretty light this past week, enough to get him ready, but don't want to put too much any more mileage on the odometer there. But he's obviously been a dynamic player for Tennessee all season, the SEC Offensive Player of the Year, deservedly so. He set the single-season Tennessee records for rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, and he's very capable of getting loose and hitting a big play, but he's also, I think, really improved his ability to run between the tackles, to kind of push piles forward at the end of runs. He's tough to tackle at the line when he gets to the second level, and so Tennessee has obviously sort of followed that blueprint all season of riding him a lot and then relying on his defense to get wins.
So when it's not Sampson on the ground, let's talk about the playmakers on the outside. There's been so much discussion, all week just about how this Tennessee offense likes to spread defenses out and make you cover so much grass. But when Nico does want to put the rock up in the air, who are some of the go-to guys that have been making plays?
Well, the passing game has been really, kind of inconsistent all season. They've just been a little bit off here and there, whether that's protection, which I think is going to be a big factor in this game with what Ohio State's going to bring to the table in terms of pass rushers and blitzes to get after Nico Iamaleava. A couple weeks ago, I mentioned that Georgia game. Georgia really tried to heat him up and blitzed him, and early on in that game, I think Kirby Smart and that staff decided they were not going to sit back, and they got really aggressive. So I'm interested to see if Ohio State sort of cranks up some of that pressure too, or if they rely on their edge guys to get pressure. But looking at receiver, this has been a banged up group all season. Multiple guys playing through injuries. They were down a couple guys in that regular season finale against Vanderbilt, which they had to win to get into the playoffs. But I think it starts with Brew McCoy. He's a USC transfer in his third year at Tennessee. He's a big bruising, physical wide receiver. Dante Thornton has been their best receiver all season. He's a second-year guy, transfer from Oregon, averaging, I think, 25 yards a catch. I mean, he's the big play guy. He's the home run guy. A lot of 50-plus yard touchdowns this season. In Tennessee, when he's not making those plays, they've kind of lacked explosiveness in the passing game. And against a defense like Ohio State, they're going to have to hit some of those big plays, those downfield shots that just are naturally created with how they play. They spread the field really wide, and they sort of make defenses commit to either sitting with two high safeties and guarding against the downfield shots, or if defenses are going to sort of cheat guys into the box to add numbers against the run, that's when they get those one-on-one matchups and sort of take their shots downfield. So I'd start with those two guys. Squirrel White has been banged up. He's the slot guy that will get a lot of targets. And when some of these guys have been in and out of the lineup, Chris Brazzell is another transfer that played well against Vanderbilt. Mike Matthews is a freshman who was a five-star in that same loaded group that Jeremiah Smith was part of as well. He's sort of had a quiet season, but has played a little bit more in the last couple of games. So if they have some guys that get banged up during the game, those couple of guys could stand out, could step up. And Tennessee's also played a lot of 12 personnel. That's something that they really haven't done a whole lot under Josh Heupel the previous 3 seasons, but they use a lot of 2 tight end sets, and particularly if their run game is going, they're able to work those guys into the passing game off play action and things like that. So they've got the quarterback and some of the personnel to make plays in the passing game. Again, they've sort of been up and down, but certainly they're going to need to make some of those plays through the air to help Sampson and give the offense balance against Ohio State.
All right, Patrick, we'll leave you with this one. The shoe holds over 100,000. The Tennessee fans were only guaranteed about 3% of those seats. What are you hearing about the percentage of fans that will actually be attending this game because they gobbled up tickets either third party or elsewhere?
I don't know. I mean, somebody was saying maybe 25,000. That seems crazy. But I would say maybe 10 to 15. I mean, Tennessee fans, this is a fan base that there's probably a lot of opinions of them, maybe outside the SEC footprint, maybe nationally, but this is a group of fans that have seen a lot of bad football and a lot of bad coaches over the years, and so now they've got a winner in Josh Heupel and the way he's turned around this program, and this is obviously their first ever playoff game. So there's a lot of excitement. They didn't get shipped to Texas or South Bend or even a couple places that are far away. They didn't get shipped to Penn State, which is apparently really hard to get to. Columbus is a drivable place to get to if you're Tennessee, whether you're in Knoxville or Nashville in this half of the state. So I think there'll be a lot of Tennessee fans. I don't know if it's going to be a takeover. There's still obviously going to be a lot of scarlet in the stands, but that orange will stand out quite a bit. But it'll definitely be a lot more than 3,500, and that's a testament to that fan base just being as rabid as they are and gobbling up tickets on the secondary market and cheating pre-sale codes and all that stuff. I've covered this program long enough to not be surprised by what's been going on in that realm of this game.
All right, we'll look forward to it, man. I hope you enjoy it as well. Thanks for the breakdown, Patrick.
Yeah, appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
There's your Behind Enemy Lines interview for this week. Top of the hour. When we come back, it's our Who's Got the Heat segment. We will apply some pressure to a player, team, someone from around the world of college football. And also, you will hear from Will Howard to get his thoughts on the mentality of this team coming out of the Michigan game and how confident he is in the offensive line in front of him tonight. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. Visit Riverside Bank and experience the strength of local.
Traffic volumes are starting to build on 315, and a reminder, when traffic dictates, Columbus police will be out, especially around the Lane Avenue and Kinnear Road exits, to monitor that. They may be intermittently closing some of those off-ramps as they need to control the traffic flow. Otherwise, we're moving nicely. No reports of accidents or problems. The really busy spot right now is Lane Avenue between High Street and Olentangy River Road, moving very slowly. Also, watch out, we have a lot of pedestrian traffic out there today. With Game Day Traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford. That means we got the car you need at the price you want. But don't take it from me. Hear it from
Ohio State captain Travion Henderson.
Reichert has what I'm looking for.
Defensive star Jack Sawyer.
Grew up watching these guys on TV. My family's bought tons of cars for them.
Cody Simon.
You get the right car at Reichert. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Hi, I'm Laura De Leon, president of Key Bank in Central Ohio. Here at Key, we believe in providing a helping hand in our community. While helping hands are wonderful, a helping bank is even better. That's a bank committed to solving people's financial needs, but it doesn't stop there. We advocate, we support, we listen, and we volunteer. That's a bank that is always ready to meet you in the moment. Key Bank opens doors.
KeyBank, member FDIC.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. Do your banging in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus or download ESPN Bet on your phone. You never know when the two dummies will show up. The Fan. Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron, I invented 3 new ways for people to use our genius electricians.
I'm all ears.
Get Eco.
ECO. Our electricians can put a power outlet anywhere you want one. Behind a painting or inside a closet.
Above a nightstand or beneath your desk.
Out in your yard or anywhere else you can imagine.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You are the artist and your house is your canvas.
And our genius electricians are your paintbrush.
Now paint your walls with rich, romantic, reactive light.
Your paintings will pop. Your gardens will glow.
Paint your home with artistic light and shimmering shadows, and everyone will love being at your house.
Rich, romantic, reactive light.
Get Eco.
ECO. Our genius electricians can turn your house into a high-tech wonderland where you can live a stress-free life.
None of these things were there when you bought your house.
But our genius electricians can put them there. We do it right at the speed of light.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Every hockey player dreams of a hat trick.
And if you've ever seen one, you know it's a thrill when the hats hit the ice.
And now, it's hats off to Honda Marysville, because this season, every time a Blue Jacket scores a hat trick at Nationwide Arena,
Honda Marysville will give one lucky fan a 2-year lease on a new Honda Civic Sport on the spot.
So come to a game and cheer us on. Who knows?
A new car from Honda Marysville might be closer than you think.
Official rules at HondaMarysville.com/hat-trick.
If somebody is still asking what you want for Christmas, just tell them to sign you up for the Fan Golf League at Fairway Columbus. You don't want to miss out on all this fun. Chance to keep your game sharp, chance to get inside and still play golf during these winter months, and a chance to win signed memorabilia, game tickets, gift cards, and more, including some prize packs from Woodford Reserve. There's going to be drink specials every week, and there's that McGinnis Grill delicious food. The 12-week league starts on January 5th, and there are only a few spots remaining. Sign up now.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
Brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. Number 6 Penn State took down number 11 SMU in State College 38-10. It was Joe Klatt's dream, a noon whiteout. They found a way to make it happen. SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings had 3 interceptions in the game, 2 were returned for touchdowns. 2 also landed in the arms of Dominic DeLuca. Penn State did a lot of their damage on the ground. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, the dynamic duo, put together 23 carries for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns combined. And if you want to know how this game went, the starters for Penn State were pulled with 10 minutes left in the game. Texans and Chiefs in the NFL. Chiefs currently have a 27-19 lead at the 2-minute warning. Xavier Worthy, the leading receiver for the Chiefs, 7 for 65 and a touchdown. The Texans lost their leading receiver, Tank Dell, to a knee injury, but he was able to amass 6 catches for 98 yards and a score. Ohio State basketball is going to be taking their game against Kentucky at 5:30 on 10 TV.
Can you smell it? Buckeye football is in the air. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your home for the Buckeyes, the Fan. As you prepare for another Buckeye football Saturday, one very important question remains. Who's got the heat?
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Let Logan Services bring the heat to your home this season. Free same-day estimates, next-day installation. Logan Services.
False start on me. Throw the flag. Throw the flag. Welcome back in. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. All right, I'm going to go quickly because this game is starting now, so I want to get this in before I let you cook.
Okay.
I'm going Quinn Ewers. I'm putting the heat on Quinn Ewers. I know he's been dealing with an ankle injury. He's had 3 weeks to get off his feet. However, it's really not about that. It's more about, I think he's got to put a bit of the cape on today, Dane. No, it sounds like one of his stud receivers, Isaiah Bond, isn't going to play in this game. You've always got the Arch Manning thing just, in the rearview mirror of opportunity for him. And look, Arch is good. He's got a good dual threat ability with what he can do there. So I'm going Quinn Ewers. This is the game that they were anticipating for a while when they made him the starting quarterback, was playing in a big game like this. So I think Quinn Ewers has some heat on him. He's got to deliver.
Is it foregone conclusion that he's going to the draft next year?
It's not. It's not.
That's why I think there's heat, too.
Yeah,
I think it's a
fair.
really good take because you got a situation where, it sounds like they're trying to make that decision for him. Say, hey, Quinn, we got our guy. If you want to go ahead and move on. What if he doesn't want to move on?
It could get very interesting. There's already been some portal smoke out there because you got guys like Mel Kiper and some of these NFL draft analysts talking about, Quinn Ewers may want to run it back at the collegiate level for one more year. So I'm going Quinn Ewers right now because Clemson and Texas are about to get busy.
It's a really good one. Maddie, this is going to be my who's got the heat with a little bit of a hot take, with a little bit of a rant. So you're just going to have to roll with me, okay?
Go ahead and cook.
I'm putting the heat on the playoff committee, the NCAA, the conferences in general, for what we've watched so far in this playoff era.
You're not having fun?
I don't know if I got to look at the camera or what we got to do. I think you need to think about what you're trying to do here. The whole point of doing a playoff, even the 14 playoff, was to solve the argument of who's the national champion, okay? It's happened years before. Yeah, you had split national champions. There's always the debate, well, this team won it, but this one didn't get the chance. That debate doesn't happen outside of, the top 2 or 3 programs. Is anybody arguing now at the end of the year that Clemson or Tennessee or Ohio State, for that matter, or SMU or Penn State or Indiana should be national champions? That's not. You're not. What I'm saying is, you're not solving an argument with the games you're putting together.
Yeah.
Penn State versus SMU right before this. What did we learn from that? We learned that the third best team in the Big Ten was better than SMU. Sweet. How do we get any closer to a national champion? Like, it's not. Okay, I guess it's entertaining, but it's like, what is the point? I think you're going in the wrong direction by adding schools, by adding a playoff this big. You're lessening the importance of a regular season even more, to the point where you're not. The scenario that you built this whole thing, and I'm talking to you and the camera committee. You built this beautiful 12-team playoff, did all your things. Point is supposed to be so there's no argument. Undisputed champion. If Ohio State beats Tennessee, beats Oregon, goes on to win the national championship, you don't think there's going to be a dispute there? You don't think Oregon's going to dispute? Okay, the only team we got to play, we won every game, and then we lost one to Ohio State, who we beat early in the season. You don't think there's a dispute? Yeah. You built this whole thing, and you're not even going to get an undisputed. Just take the top 2 or 3 if you need to have one game to get to the champion. You over-engineered a thing that didn't even solve anything. We got SMU getting blown out by Penn State. And anyway, your project, it's on the hot seat. Mm-hmm. You need to do something with this. I think you're going the wrong way. Need less, not more.
I'm not mad at you going like full CM Punk and cutting a heel promo into the camera right there.
I just want them to know that the heat is on them, because I think if that committee's just sitting there, or whoever came up with this deal, they ought to feel like, well, I don't know about what we've put on the field so far.
I've got even better news for you. The game that I just got done talking about, that was the biggest spread of all the games that we're going to tee off on Friday night going into today. Clemson has been a 12-point dog all week long. They're expecting Texas to mollywop them. So we could be talking about 3 games right out of the gate to where one team has felt like they're in complete control and the other team feels like a JV team. Because last night, when you watched that Notre Dame and Indiana game, you're like, oh, yeah, Indiana's roster is made up of a bunch of guys from James Madison. There's levels to this. There's levels to this.
There's bowl games for this.
Right. Go play in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
There's bowl games for this.
Go play in the Mayo Bowl.
Is anybody this is to find a national championship. Who cares? Clemson in Texas? This is like a sideways rant half bit, so don't get too annoyed with me, folks. But how does this help us get a national championship? Why is Clemson even in the hunt?
Yeah.
You have 12 teams here. Clemson, and we're trying to crown a national championship. These guys are. What are we doing?
I said it on the show this week.
4 was plenty. 4 was perfect.
I was always in the camp of keep it at 4. So I'm echoing exactly what you're saying. And
we might be getting lit up in the comments, but I think that's.
I don't know how people can.
I think this had solid ground to stand on. If you want to find a national champion in college football, keep the regular season mattering. Figure out how to balance these schedules so that you're playing everybody that's good in the Big Ten. And then if there's a debate on the top 3-4 teams in the country, put them in a four-man playoff, and let's move on. But this isn't helping us find a national championship. It's going to cause more problems than good.
Just wait until we get to 16 teams, my man. Wait until they keep expanding this thing, because that's where it's headed. That is where
Why would it be headed that way, Matty?
Well, they'll never admit it, but there's a lot of cash to be made.
That's why it would be headed that way.
There's a lot of cash.
Don't think it's because you fans want to see it.
There's a lot.
They don't care about the product.
There's a lot of cash.
We're burning a lot of bridges, losing a lot of sponsors. What's our next segment?
We are going to hit the finish line of the show with East to West. There's not a whole bunch of Big Ten action happen. Look, Penn State dominated SMU. We'll get that behind us. Then we will hit the end of the show with our final thoughts on Ohio State, Tennessee. You will hear from Will Howard as well. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. Visit Riverside Bank and experience the strength of local.
Highways and side streets looking pretty good right now. We have no reports of accidents or problems and just moderate volumes for the most part. Lane Avenue, by far the busiest spot right now between High Street and Olentangy River Road. We're moving nicely on 315 north and southbound between Ackerman and 670. No major issues there. Now let's talk parking. Just got word that there are some spots available available on the west side of campus in those Carmack lots. Also, the lots off of Ackerman Road have spaces available. With game day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for my team at Valley Ford of Columbus. There's only a few days left in 2024. As a Valley customer, I'm telling you, you want to get online and see all the end-of-year savings at valleyfordofcolumbus.com. New 2024 Ford F-150 XLTs, Bronco Sports, Mustang Mach-E's. There's tons to choose from. Plus, the leases and financing deals will get you rolling into 2025 with more cash in your pocket. Go to valleyfordofcolumbus.com today for all the details.
Keep on trucking with Valley Ford of Columbus.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning diamond pendant, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. Or maybe you're looking for that perfect gemstone piece or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have hundreds of styles that are ready to be wrapped and put under the tree. No need to wait for shipping. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas before you head to the store, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Toyotathon is on, and it's the perfect time to wrap up the year with a new RAV4, America's best-selling SUV. Now through January 6th, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 24 or 25 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Excludes RAV4 Prime. Or lease a gas-powered 25 RAV4 LE for $299 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
This season, there's a system for every home and budget at Logan Services. Save big with our furnace sale. Payments start at $49 a month for 144 months. Plus, save up to $2,000 on a qualifying train system. Choose from our free stocking stuffers for extra home comfort. And don't forget about tax credits. Schedule your free estimate now and get next day installation with fast, friendly service from Logan Services.
You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing. That's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your device's privacy and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Expect partly sunny skies this afternoon with high temperatures only around 30 degrees. We'll fall through the 20s this evening, and it's going to be a cold one for the Buckeye game. We'll see temperatures fall down into the teens tonight with decreasing clouds. Lows around 17. Tomorrow, high pressure builds in, and we are going to see plenty of sunshine with high temperatures back around 30. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Erica Kalora.
Chicken wings, check. Drinks, check. Listening to the Fan, check. It must be game day.
Sponsored by Reichert Chevy.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. Saturday in Ohio. Birds are chirping. The sky is, blue, gray? I don't know. This is recorded in advance. But the most wonderful thing of all is Buckeye football. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. It's the Fan's East to West.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, Dane Sanzenbacher. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show. Penn State SMU in the books, 38-10. Final score of that one. Penn State moves on to the next round of the college football playoff. Let's get right back into some Buckeye and Tennessee talk. Let's hear from Will Howard and him embracing more, maybe more, of a leadership role coming out of the Michigan game.
It was hard, I'm not going to lie, but yeah, my ability to push this team and to lead this team in this game is going to be crucial, and I know that. And I think that if we can maintain that edge that we had, I think really in that Indiana game, and just come out there and I need to be the one that sparks that, and I need to make sure that I'm bringing that all game, and that's going to be crucial. So I get that.
Dane, how you feeling about Will Howard coming into this game? Last time we saw him, it was dicey, to say the least. It was dicey for him. The interception that led to one of Michigan's touchdowns right there at the doorstep. But you evaluating him all year as you have and watching him in the biggest game for Ohio State outside of Oregon, how you feeling about the QB1 coming into this one?
I think all year we've not needed or expected Will Howard to be a hero. Mm-hmm. And listen to that, I don't think he needs to put it on himself either. I think there's a certain reality that, Will Howard was brought in here to a very, very talented team, so he didn't have to be a hero. We need you to be somebody who's not making the big mistake, that's managing the game, make some plays, make some throws. The Oregon game played incredibly well, threw the ball great. The last drive, it was mismanaged on both parts. But so coming into this game, what happened at Michigan, those big turnovers, those hurt. How I feel about Will Howard right now, I think he's the same guy that we always thought we had, and that is capable of getting this team where it needs to go. Yeah. I think he's plenty capable if he shows up, doesn't try to do too much, plays his game, completes the passes he needs to complete. And I think that's the recipe. And that's the funny thing about this Ohio State team. And all year, it's just if you're being you, if you just go out and just do your thing, be yourself, you guys are fine. Yeah. You already built the team that can win. Okay? So just go out and win.
Yes, I think it's well said. Massive question mark for me today is what we see on the offensive line. Specifically, there's been a little chirping this week about maybe a few guys playing at the guard position or one of the guard positions. And to me, that's not great to hear, right? Is that they haven't found a guy or maybe a guy or two that they feel like can bring it home. Now, maybe it's a situation where Tegra starts the game, they give him a crack at it if he doesn't play, then you go to Luke Montgomery or something like that. But let's hear from Will Howard on how he's feeling about the offensive line coming into this one.
I got all the faith in the world in those guys, man, and no matter who it is, I don't care. They're all here for a reason, and, they have to remember that. They're Buckeyes at the end of the day, and, man, it doesn't matter who's out there, who's playing. We've all been through the fire together. We all did mat drills together. We all, I have all the faith in the world in those guys, and no matter what, no matter who it is out there, just got to make sure we're playing with confidence, playing fast, playing physical, and just go and attack, because this is all we have left, man. This is it. We can't leave anything out there. So no, I got all the faith in those guys. They've been dealt a pretty tough hand this year, with all the injuries and the shuffling around they've had to do. I don't think Donnie would have expected that he was going to be playing tackle this year. Carson's playing guard and center. A lot of different things have happened, but just being able to weather the storm and try and figure out what we need to work on and do it and come out and prove everyone wrong. I'm excited for those guys. I think they have a heck of an opportunity in front of them. I'm excited for Luke. Whoever's out there, I got all the faith in the world in them. I'm not worried about that at all.
We talked earlier about this Tennessee defensive line led by James Pierce, and he's a guy that led the SEC in pressures and all those things. One thing I thought about and wanted to ask you about is when it comes to the run game for Ohio State, and you're dealing with an elite pass rusher like that. Do you think Day and Kelly are going to want to neutralize him by maybe running at him? He's not the biggest defensive lineman. He's a twitched-up guy. He's a bendy guy getting off the edge. Is that how you attack a guy like that on the edge, is trying to impose your will by running at him instead of letting him hunt you?
No.
Okay.
Stay away from him.
Okay, I'm just saying with the run game.
I don't
with
know.
the run game.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Offensive line-wise for Ohio State, it's not an ideal situation.
Yeah.
You don't want to be at this point, but that's the nature. As these seasons get longer and longer for these college programs, depth matters. Like, you're going to have guys. This is going to be part of the challenge. And we knew that coming in. As the season extends, who can stay healthy this long? Like what happened with Georgia.
Yeah.
You'd rather have an offensive lineman down than your starting quarterback, but these are all things that people are going to have to adjust to as we go. They seem to feel comfortable enough with the group they have, but regardless, it's the group we got. And Will can't say anything else but what he said. What he said. That's all you can expect. And you hope they hold up. You hope, there are plenty of guys that have been hidden gems, backup linemen at Ohio State, just waiting their turn. So we don't know, but it's the best we got right now.
That's it. And you got to roll with the dudes that you're coming to the party with. Another area of importance that's always important in this game is red zone efficiency. Ohio State offensively has been good down in the red zone this year. Tennessee's coming into this thing with one of the best red zone defenses. And the last time we saw Ohio State, they left some meat on the bone via the kicking game. And that's another area of this game that I think will be big, right? It's Ohio State, obviously, you want to cash in, you want to get 7 points, but the kicker in Jaden Fielding, how confident is he based off of what happened last week or a couple weeks ago against Michigan? So that's a big deal for me, too, is you pairing that with what you said in that offensive line, is that when they get down there inside the 10, inside the 5, whatever it may be, providing that punch and getting those guys into the end zone and not leaving it at the foot of the kicker to grab 3 instead of 7. You'll take all the points you can get, but against this Tennessee red zone defense, they're going to make it tough for you down there, Dave.
They are. This offense so far has been very good in the red zone.
Yeah.
Aside from the last time we were in the stadium.
Yes.
I'd imagine our kicker isn't walking in here with the most amount of confidence of all time.
Right.
I would be abnormal if he was.
Correct.
Maybe he does just have an ultra confidence. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But I think regardless, you don't typically want to rely on your kicker in college.
Yeah.
I think at the college level, somewhat in pro, but definitely in college, as a coach, when he goes out there, I'm gambling. You would rather not gamble. But when he's going out there, okay, I'm taking a risk here.
Yeah.
I hope he's getting it home. So, I don't think...
We're getting booed by Vol fans
We
right
are
now?
getting booed. What do we do, guys?
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, Ohio
See
State
how it
fans,
is.
we're seeing a lot of orange. I don't want to be the one to say it, but we are seeing a
They're
lot
here.
of orange. I'm outnumbered. Maddie's not looking like he's going to fight with me that much because he's all bundled up.
I can't move my body up.
Jen would help me. If you guys can get down here, that'd be outstanding.
Yeah, come on, please. We need you.
I don't remember what my thought was. If it was that we're going to score in the end zone, I hope we do, and I would, I'd recommend it. Let's say that. I would recommend that we try to score touchdowns if we're in the
It's
red
an
zone.
important part of the game. Dane, this has been awesome. This has been tremendous out here in the cold. We've made it to our finish line, but we're not done with the pregame coverage right here on The Fan because Andy Katzenmoyer, Tim May, and my man Anthony Rothman are taking over next. Folks, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the home playoff game here in Columbus, Ohio. Football in December is a beautiful thing. This has been the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. Visit Riverside Bank and experience the strength of local.
We're not seeing many problems or slowdowns on the highways, especially 315 from 670 all the way up to Ackerman Road. It's moving. Now, keep in mind, at any time as traffic dictates, Columbus police could be shutting down ramps intermittently. So it's a good idea to have a backup plan just in case that's the ramp you decided to take. Now, once you're off on the side streets, you're going to find very busy conditions on Lane Avenue between Olentangy River Road and High Street. It's also busy on Kenny Road between Kinnear